Hello, and welcome back to MJ's Mystical Tarot, where tarot and true crime come together to try and help get answers on missing persons, unsolved cases, and cold cases. And today is a new to me case. This is the case of missing David Mitchell. David was 48 when he went missing in 2024, and he's from my home province of New Brunswick. I came across this case on Facebook. And if you're new to my channel, I don't like to know a lot about a case before I do readings. Even when I'm doing readings, I like to have as little information on the case as I can, so that way whatever I'm getting is truly coming from the energy and spirits around the individual. So I saw that he was missing, made note of his name and that, but I didn't go and read much about it. Obviously, I did Google for an image to do the thumbnail, but I didn't read up. That's just how I prefer to do these. So let's call in the energy, spirit, and spirit guides for David Mitchell. David Mitchell, please and thank you. What happened to David Mitchell, please and thank you. This one really wants to come. A grandparent. Scapegoat. Now he was 48. I mean, I don't know if he has children, but I suppose there's a possibility he could be a grandparent, or that could be somebody has a grandparent. Earth, a rebirth. Travel, disguise, background energy, strategy. Let's get a bit more. What else do we need to know? What happened to David Mitchell, please and thank you. Where is he? Who's involved, if anybody? Female. Party. So if you know anything about David Mitchell's case or about David Mitchell, clean up. Background energy, suicide, caregiver. So they may be wanting people to think it was a suicide. So if you know anything about him and his case, obviously more than I know, please feel free to comment how accurate this sounds to you, because like I said, I really try not to look in too much into them. I like to keep it where I don't know very much. I'm going to put the scapegoat over there. Possible party. A disguise could be him, but a disguise could be a suspect. Let's get some clarification going. So, David Mitchell. What do we need to know about what happened, where he is, and who, if anybody, is involved? Chasing, pursuit, toxicity, resilience. Finality, farewells, leave behind, closure. Escaping, avoiding, blocking, pushing away. Broken, shattered, heartbroken, destroyed. Beauty, charming, graceful, kind-hearted. Spying, social network, information, ways that somebody might have been spying on him, creeping on him. Sorrow, loss, grief, depression. Background energy, possibilities, free-spirited, adventure, risks. What else do we need to know? David Mitchell, what happened? Somebody was doing drugs. They could have drugged him at a party. They could have drugged him at a party easily. Fake apology. Police. Fighting for what you want or what you love, claiming what's yours. Total drama action. Legal issues, court, lawyers. Travel again. So something about traveling. He was moved somewhere. Investigating, background energy. Alone, tired of drama. What else do we need to know? David Mitchell, David Mitchell, David Mitchell. What happened to David Mitchell? Phoenix, new phase, rekindle, renew, growth, changed mind, rise from ashes. So this, with rebirth, is giving me that he's now deceased. Now, that doesn't mean that's what happened when he went missing. That could be something that happened after the fact. It could be of natural causes. That remains to be seen. But the cleanup energy and the drugs is making me think that and the travel is making me think it wasn't natural, but we will see. What happened to David Mitchell? Whoa. Suddenly the energy got extremely chaotic. Whew. In the background energy, shock, sudden change, shocking news, surprise and epiphany, transformation. Time chaser, fear of abandonment, chasing, codependency. So spying and chasing, somebody might have been chasing him. Didn't I get? And I got chasing there. So he is confirming somebody was chasing him. Somebody was chasing him. Passion, insane chemistry, sparks and having fun, equal interest, burning desire. So maybe this is the female. Maybe the female was spying and chasing him. Mirror, mirroring each other, self-reflection, introspection, inner wounds. Not today. Boundaries and hurt, avoiding conversation, not dealing, still upset. So was there a female interested in him, chasing him, and he wasn't interested, but she ignored his boundaries? Hammer, sabotage and rebuild, persistent, working on it, repairing. So could she have made him a scapegoat, or is the female a scapegoat? The runner, fear of intimacy, running away, intensity and letting go, turmoil and fleeting. So it's interesting, I'm getting a chaser and a runner. We need to, what else do we need to know? David Mitchell, David Mitchell, David Mitchell, what happened? Where are you? Whew. I hate when that card comes up. Female, confirmation a female is involved. But then I'm getting alive. So, can we clarify butchered or alive? Tricked? Somebody's trying to trick us or tricked him? David Mitchell, David Mitchell, David Mitchell. What happened to David Mitchell? Predator and a male, so a female and a male. Background energy, water, sacrifice. Whew. Whew. David Mitchell, David Mitchell, David Mitchell. What do we need to know about what happened to David? Remember that you are enough. Background energy, how can you serve? Whew. 11, release, self-limiting beliefs. So this to me is giving me that he has passed on, that he's released from this world, these burdens. Whew. Express gratitude, relinquish fears, embrace your authenticity. I was going to use my Buffy the Vampire Slayer tarot, but I think I'm going to change my tarot decks and use a different one, just because I think it might connect with him more. What else do I need to know about David Mitchell's disappearance, please and thank you? David Mitchell. David Mitchell, David Mitchell, what happened? Ooh. Trust. So he trusted the wrong person, I'm getting. 14, closed for the psyche. Peacock, female. So is the female who he trusted that he shouldn't have? Number 1, healing. 11, birth. Confirmation he's been reborn again in another world. Hope. But he does have hope that that his case will get answers, his family will have answers. The Temple of Learning. Whew. David Mitchell, David Mitchell, David Mitchell. What happened to David Mitchell, please and thank you? Health issues, contagious, infection, genetic, hypochondria. So somebody could have made him believe he had a health issue or thought somebody was sick and was trying to help them. That's what I'm picking up on. Ice disaster, ice age, hail, blizzard, hypothermia. So was he frozen? Abusive relationship, abused, enabler, rescuer, abuser. So was he trying to rescue somebody he thought was being abused, a female, and he was tricked by them? Maybe they weren't being abused. Leadership, leader, boss, ruler, or a follower. She's just a follower. Power, position of authority, loss of power, fame or recognition, abuse of power. So somebody abused power. And possibly their partner. Military, infantry, navy, weapons development, air force. So somebody who might be connected to the armed forces in some capacity. Enslavement, work slave, concubine, prisoner of war, emancipated slave. But I'm picking up more on that he might have been tied up or chained down somewheres. The background energy, royalty. Somebody who thinks of themselves as royalty. David Mitchell, David Mitchell, David Mitchell. Kind of, the blue makes me think of water, but it could just be standing someplace. I do love these metaphorical, metaphysical, whatever they're called, cards, because they're completely open to interpretation. Devil and angel, so he met somebody who he thought was an angel, but she was the devil in disguise, I'm getting from him. David Mitchell, David Mitchell, David Mitchell. What happened to David Mitchell? He might have been out walking. Maybe he got lost. Something about love or heart. Now, I don't know if he was in a relationship or anything. Like I said, I really prefer not to know too much about cases before I connect. Ooh, he wants to give me a lot. Okay. This is kind of giving me like, you know what they say when police focus their attention on one person and aren't open to what help that focus thing. That's what that's making me think of. Ooh, Somebody he had to walk on the edge of a knife when he was around. Not sure which way that one goes. I'm just going to let these ones speak for themselves. So maybe 4 people, maybe 2 couples. And that one. He's trying to talk, but they silenced him. The background energy, and that's also giving me 4 people. So confirmation that 4 is a number of people involved in his disappearance. Now let's get to the tarot deck. David Mitchell, David Mitchell, David Mitchell. What do we need to know about what happened to David? Please and thank you. Whew. 10 of Cups, choices, indecisions, opportunity, fantasy, and illusions. I see a lot of hands. It's a paint, but that always gives me blood imagery. The Lovers, so confirmation a couple is involved. Thank you for the confirmation. What else do we need to know? Ten of Wands, burden and stress, anxiety, defeat, burnt out. 4 of Wands, home and reunion, stability and belonging, celebrations. 8 of Cups, walking away, letting go, leaving behind. So I'm getting he tried to walk away, but they stopped him. Six of Cups, nostalgia, memories, past, and sentiment. So maybe somebody he knew from his past was involved, possibly. Knight of Swords, assertive and impatient, direct and daring, ambitious, motivated, so confirmation of a male involved. Ooh, and confirmation of Ice. 10 of Swords, defeat and failure, bitterness and betrayal, exhaustion, collapse and giving up. So this is telling me they literally put him on ice at one time. Anything else for David Mitchell, please and thank you. What do we need to know? How will we find David? Queen of Wands, so confirmation of a female. Passionate, determined, attractive, confident, self-assured, charismatic. 6 of Swords, leaving behind, moving forward, distance ahead. So they want us to believe that he walked away, moved on with his life, maybe just decided he didn't want to be there anymore, but that's not the truth. Background energy, 5 of Pentacles. Hardships and loss, isolation, abandonment, unemployed, and struggle. Tarot and Oracle and all of this is completely open to interpretation. So if you get something different, please feel free to comment that below. Please keep in mind this is for entertainment purposes only. The only fact I know is that David Mitchell is missing. Whether anybody is involved, what happened to him, that is completely unknown. I am just reading off the cards that the energy, spirit, and spirit guides I connected with gave me. I hope I connected to the right person, like the right energy and spirits, but I'm going with what I was given. So if somebody is blocking his energy or trying to give me false information, I wouldn't know. This is what I'm getting. And I'm only trying to help. I'm not trying to hinder anything. If you have any questions for this case that you would like me to ask in a future reading, please comment that below. If you have any case suggestions, new, old, somebody alive, somebody deceased, celebrity, non-celebrity, please comment that below. If you haven't already, please like my video and subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you a part of my mystical coven. Thank you so much for watching and connecting with me today and bringing your energy and sharing your energy with David Mitchell, and I really hope that he is found sooner than later so his family can have some answers as to what happened.